starting with Thursday and a massive security scare at the Collingwood-Carlton game at the MCG.
It's been described as a major security breach.
On the ground and under arrest with a handgun less than a metre away.
2 men have just been charged after allegedly bringing guns into the MCG during an AFL match.
Bringing guns to the footy. It might sound insane, but it is much cheaper than buying them at the game. Now, this is an extremely serious situation and raises some extremely serious questions. Number one, did these men barrack for Collingwood or Carlton? Now, you may say it doesn't matter, but look me in the eye right now and tell me you don't secretly want to know. And I don't want to prejudge anyone, but I did have Collingwood supporter brings gun to ground in my same-game multi. Next question. How did 2 men packing more heat than an MCG pie just waltz through the gate?
Around 12 months ago, or about February last year, the MCG implemented a new security system, Evolve Scanning Systems. Now, this uses AI software to detect concealed weapons.
Incredible AI technology that can even detect guns practically falling out of jeans pockets. But apart from being nearly as powerful as the human eye, what else do we need to know about this fascinating software?
This Evolve software has a very checkered history. It's just settled out of court a class action lawsuit in the US with claims that they were exaggerating the capabilities of their software.
The FTC says Evolve made false claims about its ability to detect weapons after scanners failed to do so in schools.
I can't believe we've been let down by the same people responsible for gun safety in American schools. Some reports say that the breach did involve human error, but one expert says there are many ways you can beat the scanners.
I investigated one particular kind of thing where someone breached the barrier, someone breached the technology as well, by having the actual pistols secreted in their footwear.
Secreted in their footwear, you say? Well, if someone next to me pulled out a gun at the footy, I'd secrete into more than just my footwear. Moving on to Friday, and Donald Trump hit the world with some of the largest tariffs in a century, and Australia wasn't spared.
Breaking news from the United States, where Donald Trump has announced Australia will be impacted by a 10% tariff on all goods imported into America.
In a few moments, I will sign a historic executive order instituting reciprocal tariffs on countries throughout the world. Reciprocal. That means they do it to us and we do it to them.
President Trump declared today Liberation Day as he issued the largest expansion of tariffs since at least the 1930s.
That's right. No president has done this since the early 30s. So how did it go that time? Well, at least they're not all on their phones. But Trump's tariffs didn't just hit the mainland. He targeted territories we didn't even know we had.
The Trump tariffs so far-reaching, they include the remote Heard and McDonald Islands, an Australian territory in the Antarctic where no one but penguins live.
Those islands, they're in Antarctica. They don't produce any exports. Do you know why? Because there are not any human beings that even live there. What we do not know is if the penguins who live there will retaliate.
Yeah, you know, I don't know what's more shocking, that Australia owns remote sub-Antarctic islands or that we haven't tried to put refugees there. This is all part of Trump's grand economic plan. So how did the markets react?
Good evening. From the second the bell rang, it was carnage.
$160 billion has been lost in 10 minutes.
I think that was the dumbest, most economically illiterate speech I have heard in my life.
He waterboarded the economy today.
Ian has got the pithiest comment so far on a text. What the F is he going on about?
Classic Ian. That was pithy as. US stocks suffered a $6 trillion loss in just 2 days and keep getting worse, which sounds bad. But Vice President J.D. Vance says we just don't understand Trump's vision.
What has the globalist economy gotten the United States of America? We borrow money from Chinese peasants to buy the things those Chinese peasants manufacture.
Yeah, how come China gets all the peasants? We want to make American peasants right here. The hardest hit in all of this may be everyday Americans. With tariffs hitting Australian beef, how do they like the prospect of more expensive Big Macs?
Quarter pounders, it might cost you more to...
No! No! I need to call my mom. Bro, why are they doing this to us, bro? We're just trying to eat Big Macs in peace. We just need the Big Macs. We need the meat. I think it's... We love the meat.
Well, at least this Great Depression will already know where to line up for food. To Sunday, and after a rough week where he backflipped on his working from home policy and another drop in the polls, Peter Dutton blew off some steam with a little kick of the footy.
Yes. What a shot.
He's clean open too. Oh no. Well, I think if I don't want you to report that I was a bad kick. I thought I was kicking pretty well actually and straight.
Yeah. Great kick. Laces out, right on the scone, bleeding profusely. Textbook stuff. Not to be outdone, Anthony Albanese had an accident of his own.
Good evening. Anthony Albanese has fallen off a stage in an awkward stumble on the campaign trail.
The Prime Minister stumbling from the stage before bouncing back to cheers from mining workers in the New South Wales Hunter.
Reminds me of that song, I get back down, but I get up again.
Yeah, absolutely butchered the Chumbawamba classic there. The PM clambered to his feet like a fallen horse, anxious not to be turned into glue. But rather than owning up, Albo maintained he didn't even fall.
A fall that's not a fall, according to the Prime Minister. He says it was just 1 foot that went down on the ground. It wasn't an actual fall.
No, I stepped back 1 step. I didn't fall off the stage. Just one leg went down, but I was sweet.
Oh, I reckon if you're not upright, it's a fall.
All right, so Peter says it's a fall. Albo is challenging the call. Let's go to the third umpire. First up, we've got Snicko. Let's watch that. Wind it forward. 1, 2. Yeah, there's a double noise of each cheek hitting the stage. Let's go to Hotspot. Yeah, he is white hot with embarrassment there. He knows he's making the news tonight. And finally, over to Score Review. The original call was fall. Let's have a look. And yes, it's a fall. It is a fall. And with that, Anthony Albanese adds his name to the list of Prime Ministers who have fallen in front of the camera. John Howard did it. Julia Gillard did it. Scott Morrison took a kid down with him. And it also affected everyone's favourite Prime Ministerial hopeful. Chumbawamba. He had a whiskey drink, he had a cold and flu. He had a lager drink, he had an incident.